You know, but it takes you so long. Like they let you invest into all the characters, and you know, let you kind of grow with them and see where they are in their perspective, and then you kind of meet the Nazis and the problems, you know, arise, and then you have the crazy standoff. And I can feel the I don't know per se if this is actually inspired by any video games, but it felt very Wolfenstein to me. If anything, if anybody's out there has played, you know, Wolfenstein, the newer ones, the for the next gen consoles, this plot feels very, very close to what they do in those games, and I think that they nailed it. I know you said that this movie didn't do very well. I think it was a $35 million budget, and it made 41 in the box office, which isn't, you know, I mean, nobody ever wants that. But it is rated R, and it's pretty bonkers. In a, you know, like, in a good way, I feel. But sometimes that throws people off. I don't know if this would have helped, but if it were me, I probably wouldn't have given away the twist of the monsters so much within the trailer. And like what they end up going into, because the trailer it doesn't give really anything away except for that big twist of the monsters. You know, that they're going to end up fighting these kind of Nazi hybrid things. And if they had kept it just like a straight up war movie, even though I know that from a marketing standpoint that's risky, because they want to play to the horror people, but that would have been crazier to kind of release like, oh, surprise, you know, because I know they did that for Dusk Till Dawn. I guess when that movie came out, vampire movies weren't big. So then they literally told them, you cannot promote this movie as a horror movie, no vampires. So they cut it as if it was a straight up like criminal. You know, like the brothers are doing their own thing, kind of like a straight Robert Rodriguez movie. And then when people went to see it, they were like, oh shit, you know, I kind of wish I would have been in that crowd. But I think that they should have went that way. I feel like Super 8 kind of did that too with their trailer. They were super kind of like they wouldn't show you anything really. Even Cloverfield kind of did that to you, where you're just like, what the fuck's going on? You thought I know a lot of people were telling me that it looked like a good new Godzilla movie and shit. That's what a lot of people thought it was, but it's totally different. You know. So what did you think of this one, Diego? It was like I think it was well filmed. I think the storyline, great pace to it. Obviously this movie to me is kind of a new thing, because I really don't watch all these movies sometimes. So for me, it kind of took me a while to kind of get into the rhythm of it. But after I got the rhythm of it, I was like, oh shit, this movie's kind of like it has this funny moments, like like certain shits that you're just like, I don't know if I would have fucking done that same shit, but it brought me back also to that 80s feel, where you're just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this is the same shit. But it made me smile, because it brings me back to nostalgia of like 80s horror movies, where it's just like you know what the fuck to do, but they do the opposite. They do the opposite of it. And obviously I've never to be honest, never heard of this movie. Never. So I came in with a blank slate. And I thought it was great. I will give it like an 8. Oh, okay. Yeah, because that movie was pretty great. It was pretty good. Nice. And I'm surprised it wasn't I think it's very underrated. I think it's very underrated, and that again goes to play with a lot of bootlegging and like you know, watching it with the on-log fucking fire stick and shit like that, and like those fucking internet boxes and shit, which makes these movies obsolete sometimes, and people don't want to invest money in these because of the same reason. But I mean, I would fucking recommend it to anybody to watch it.
It's a fun little movie, man. It's a fun movie.
I feel like I feel like this movie kind of struggled with its promoting itself. I know I saw the trailer, but that's because I look up trailers all the time when I'm bored. But whenever I mentioned this to people, no one knew what this was or have even heard of it. Like, I sent the link to a couple of my buddies, and they're like, "Wow, I've never seen this before. It looks crazy. We should go see this in the theaters or whatever." But I think I did a better job promoting this movie than Paramount did. But yeah, I just think that's kind of where they fell short in their trying to market it better. But I know you said you saw this, or the trailer at least, when it came out.
Well, because I was, at the time that this dropped, I think it was November of last year.
Yeah, I think so.
I was going to the movies a lot, and every time I went to the film or to watch movies, I remember seeing this trailer at the beginning, and I kept saying, and everybody, a lot of my friends, surprisingly, were like, "Hey, have you seen Overlord yet? Have you seen Overlord yet?" Like, they were shocked that out of everyone, I hadn't seen it yet. And it was just stuff kept coming up, and I didn't make it. But yeah, I think it's great. I think I would agree with Diego with the 8 overall. It's a fun movie. It could have been a little scarier.
Yeah.
I feel like
they didn't utilize their that horror aspect that they were going for toward after that. The third act was mainly horror, or but it's like they didn't use those like scares that they could have used, or just things like that. They kind of maybe overlooked them, or just maybe it was a director's choice. He didn't want to get too much into it.
Because it does, and I agree, I think it plays more as a thriller. Yeah. With monsters grounded in... There's horror aspects because of, the body horror and stuff, but I feel like there's not much... they don't dive deep into it. Yeah. As deep as they could have. Probably because they take so much time getting to the tower. Yeah. Or whatever. That's the thing, is because it's they're focused on this mission. These soldiers are dropped down into, was it Nazi occupied Europe?
France, I think.
To basically take down this
radio tower,
communications tower. Yeah. And then they kind of stumble upon these experiments. Yeah. And this crazy doctor and this SS officer, and things take a wild turn for them.
Yeah. I would highly recommend watching this if you haven't already, the people who are listening. I want to ask you guys both this question. What was your favorite scene from the movie? Like, if you had to pick something in this, like that stood out to you, like, oh wow, that was crazy.
For obvious reasons, I like the when they torture the Nazi officer. For obvious reasons. Yeah. I would either say that scene because it's pretty brutal, or the helicopter, or not helicopter. When they're being transported.
Yeah,
that's actually a good scene.
I was gonna say the lead up to them jumping, and even when
you jump,
when their ship jumps in, I like the way how they shot that scene where the camera's following him, kind of just flailing through the sky.
Yeah, some very ambitious camera work. Yeah. And kind of techniques and things that I hadn't really seen, at least in a long time. And to watch them, because the way this whole movie feels, it's like it was a midnight movie. Right? Yeah. And I'm not sure they needed to release it theatrically. I think that wasn't their audience for this. Yeah. And that's why Diego mentioned that when we were watching it. I think that they just aimed this at the wrong... It shouldn't have ever tried to be mainstream, because this isn't mainstream.
They went for the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a Netflix release would have been good. Netflix or Hulu would have been good for this release. And I think they would have spent as much money and still make as much money from it, because it really was I felt like I was watching Netflix. That's how I felt watching this movie. and it sucks that I'm saying that because it is a theatrical release movie.
Well, not to shit on it, because Netflix's stuff is. I mean, their movies are good.
But, I mean, fucking Ben Affleck has a movie on Netflix. Boom. Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like, I'm not shitting on them. It's just like it.
I definitely got that feel too, and especially in some certain scenes. For me, one part of the movie that was weaker to me was some of the writing. I think some of the dialogue between the a couple of the characters.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you guys felt that was just me. Sometimes I was like they could have said something different, or just not even had this conversation.
Yeah. That definitely I could see where you're coming from there, and it just sometimes you see films and they're like, oh, this is a fucking they I don't think they use their resources correctly to par with how much this movie had potential for, because this movie could have fucking potentially it could have been like a zombie Nazi movie, which is still good because we really don't know how, like in real life, we really don't know how much fucking experiments fucking were going on in Germany at that time and shit. So obviously they could have played on that. There's a lot of stuff they could have done, but again, I'm just nitpicking now.
Yeah.
And but this movie is like we're going back to the statement. Yeah, this movie should have been released on Netflix or
a different platform
streaming,
rather than going mainstream for a theatrical release.
Yeah, I think they were. I think they bet on the wrong horse at this one. Yeah, but definitely not a bad movie.
No,
that's what I say.
I mean, like critically, I guess it was seen pretty good because it has an 81.
A lot of people like it, you know.
But it's like one of those movies that's it's liked, but no one has really seen or heard of, or never got the chance to see it, even if they did hear about it. How kind of me and Wes were.
And it's funny because everybody's going to be the same way. Like, oh, I'll see it when they put it on Netflix.
Yeah. Or when it gets streamed somewhere on HBO or whatever.
I can't wait till it gets streamed. Like,
yeah,
dude, you just pay $3 on Google.
Yeah,
or
just
Apple.
just stream it yourself.
Just stream it. Yeah,
rent it for $2.99.
Okay,
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that this movie didn't do good, because now we probably won't see more from it.
Yeah.
Because like Diego was saying, there's so much room to expand.
Yeah.
And it would be fun to see them come back and do more stuff, because they kind of a lot of the monsters and stuff, we only see a few.
Yeah.
They just kind of gloss over that, and I would have loved to see more of what they had in those rooms and kind of the horror that was going on. You know, we didn't spend enough time in my opinion, in the laboratory.
It's kind of like how you say when there's certain movies where you don't need to really show too much and let the mind kind of build this world, or or build this creature for themselves. But for this, I think they didn't show enough, and I think that's like how they kind of glossed over these monsters. That's something they could have spent more time on and less in.
The ones that they do show are they're worth it.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It felt very Sam Raimi too. It gets into that territory, and I'm always up for that, because there's not enough of that.
Yeah.
In Hollywood today. But then when movies don't make money like this, then we wonder why we don't get genre movies, and it's because nobody goes to watch them.
Yeah.
Or they stream them illegally, and then they don't make any more. So then we're shooting ourselves in the foot when we don't go and watch this stuff.
Exactly.
But I'm glad you bought the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We watched a real copy of it for everybody out there.
No streaming.
No illegal streaming. Yeah, I spent my hard-working money on that.
And then, our boy J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
I knew there had to be something to this, and that's why he was backing it.
Yeah.
Everything he's done and produced so far has been great.
Yeah.
He's been in TV for a long time. I knew there had to be something worth it here.
I was already sold when I saw his name on the trailer, And I was like, oh,
'Cause
they
they opened with that, right?
like produced by from the producer of Star Trek and